I have had the pleasure of meeting Josh Rosen. He
Oh,
was I went to the Manning Passing Academy. He was my mentor at the academy. So I
what?
had about I had about seven
You're a quarterback?
days. Yeah, oh, I was, not anymore.
Jeez. Wow.
But yeah, in high school, he was my coach for that I think it was 5 or 7 days.
No way.
I do have to say, so Josh Rosen is my guy. The people were like, we meet in the morning. The
Huh?
person next to them was Joshua Dobbs, former
Oh,
Steelers quarterback.
wow.
He
Yeah.
might be there.
I know
You
Josh
could,
Dobbs. Yeah.
yeah, you could tell probably in 10 minutes that Joshua Dobbs was had twice the work ethic of Josh Rosen.
Oh, wow. Oh,
I
wow.
Yeah, that's
It's a
something that
work ethic thing with Josh Rosen?
okay, that's what I've
Wow.
heard. And like when I was there, and I can't speak to him like outside of stuff because I know a lot of football people like stand by him. I remember Mike Shanahan had a quote saying that like, hey, if he loves football, like he can do anything in it. He could be like a top
Wait,
five
wait, wait,
guy.
wait, wait, wait. Tell me what you mean by the work ethic. Like how did that show itself?
He'd be late every day, like to like
No
just to meeting
way.
at the front. Yeah, no,
No
and
way.
like Dobbs would
Not
be there
good.
before I would get there.
That's not good.
No, and
That's
that's
not
where I
good.
think the questions are.
Wow. So he's a diva.
Oh,
He's
totally.
late.
He was late probably every single day.
And you know, I never understood why Stanford straight up pulled his scholarship offer. You know, they offered him and they were like, you know what, you can't go here. You can't go here. We're gonna go with freaking who do they have back then? Kevin Hogan or worse?
I think it was
KJ
Kevin Hogan.
Costello or whatever. It's like, no, we're just gonna make it work with Kevin Hogan. See you, buddy. And like he went to UCLA and accomplished a whole lot of nothing. Now that team stunk, but wow, good to know. I mean, I'm gonna try to link up with him and get a feel for him myself because I feel partial to the Jewish kid. But wow, interesting. I'm
No,
gonna
and
file
I
that
liked
away.
him.
Yeah,
And I liked him. I thought he was a super cool guy. I mean, I had some great conversations with him. But I like if I was a
dude,
coach and like going there to evaluate him as a person, like I'd be
show
like, okay,
up.
this dude's like, yeah, you're not even showing up on time. Like,
Are you
I still
serious?
like them. Like, yeah, isn't that weird? Isn't that a weird thing? Like,
It's not good. It's really
no.
not good. I wonder if he's still like that or if he's finally been humbled.
See,
Good to know.
that's
That's
the other
great
thing.
background information, man. Wow. That's really good to know. Explains a lot. It explains a lot. It's like these teams haven't crushed his reputation, haven't said anything, but they're telling you what they think of him by cutting him every 6 months. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, Josh, have you gotten the picture yet? Have you gotten it? No one likes you anymore. You have no value. Does this mean something to you? I'd love to see if he fights for it. Hey, maybe he'll lose that quarterback job. Who knows?
Well,
I mean,
that's the
that
thing.
competition. Yeah.
I also think him coming from Tampa with Brady and then
Yeah.
being like, yeah, we don't want you anymore. I mean, that can
That's
light a
tough.
spark under him, though. Like,
Yeah.
there is still a reason to believe because the talent is there. Like, you're talking about it. I think if you just looked at him like, okay, how good of a thrower is he? I think almost everybody's going to take him over Jimmy. I think that is clear. Like, you look
Yeah.
at their college stuff, you look at them in the NFL. Rosen has a hose.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
And he
I
knows
like
it.
it.
And he thought it was going to take him so far, but now it's almost washing out of the league because of his attitude. Well, get it together, buddy.
Yeah.
You're 24. You still got time.
Oh, yeah. No, he's got plenty of time. He's got,
Yeah.
well, maybe not plenty of time.
Not plenty
he's
of
already
time.
been through a few organizations.
Yeah. But now's a good opportunity. He's on a good team with a good coach and playmakers. Like, stick around because the starter on this team, I mean, is hurt every other week. So you might just get an opportunity to change the whole narrative about you. Stick around. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah.
But
And
we'll see.
say he goes up to Kyle and says, hey, I am all in. I'm all in
all
on
in.
football. I wasn't before. I'm all in on football.
Yep.
That's a reason for him to have a chance to compete for the starting job.
But that's not enough. From what you're telling me, he needs to be the dude who just is there all the time. First dude there in the morning. He needs to show them consistently that how much he wants. He doesn't have to say it. He needs to show them. And maybe he did. You know, he just spent a year in a practice squad. He came over here and seemed like he was all in. I don't know. I'm interested. Maybe he gets it finally. How long ago are you talking? Was he in high school when he was doing that stuff?
I would probably say that was 4 years ago. 4 or 5.
He was at UCLA.
Yeah, he was at UCLA. He was already chosen Rosen by then.
My God. So it had gone. The status had gone. That's terrible to hear. I'm sorry to hear that. Come on,
I think
Josh.
it was before the hot tub thing too.
That being said, when I was 20 years old, I had a faux hawk. I had two 13-millimeter cubic zirconium earrings. I had a chin strap. I was the biggest tool you'd ever seen. And I went to UCLA too. So that Westwood can do things to you at a young age. If you think you're, hot shit. And I guess he did. So good for him. Maybe he came back to earth.
Yeah. In lieu of my first take, Grant, I'm going to ask you kind of a question based on your worst take. Is Jimmy just a completely different, because you go and see the practices, you've been around the team for a long time. Is Jimmy completely different pre-ACL to post-ACL?
Yes.
Because completely different quarterback? Because
yes.
I went back and watched 2017 Jimmy, and
he can move.
He can move. He's not afraid of getting hit. He's rifling stuff in there. And he
actually was pretty good off script, and he could improvise. I think that's what people like most about him.
Because he didn't know anything.
Improvisation.
He had just been traded there, didn't know the playbook at all. Came out, won 5 straight games.
Had all this poise, had all this improvisation, and now he looks like a statue who's afraid to get hit. I mean, what happened? We know what happened, but it's like a stark difference.
So that was mainly what I was going to ask. Do you see just a completely different guy?
Also, it's not just that. I mean, he's now, when he was playing, he was worth about $2 million and was playing for that. People don't talk about the contract year push with quarterbacks, but it's real. He was worth about $2 million. He was going to play for that $140 million contract. He got it, and then he got hurt. And then I've never been worth that much money, but I would think naturally your investment is your body. You start to protect it. You don't want to get hurt again. And you start playing a little bit more. Some people might. And I think maybe the money's part of it.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense too. That's totally reasonable. Even if you don't notice you're doing it,
just
subconsciously like, hey,
natural.
Yeah. I can't afford to, this is my moneymaker here. As opposed to when I'm worth $2 million, I got to get this money. I'm going to go play. I'm going to put my body on the line.
I would still say the best thing about Jimmy though is his leadership and the fact that every player that talks about him, Kittle especially, raves about him and
agree. But only thing I would say with that is that the fact that he was gone so much last year and didn't come back at the end of the year, I wonder if players look at him differently now. Like, hey,
we don't know why he didn't come back.
Exactly. We don't know.
It could have been the coaching staff saying the season's done. Right. Please.
But here's the thing. I think the players won't know either. Like the players are probably as in the dark as we are because it's none of their business. And so they'll have their own theories. Like, where were you, dude? Where were you? Like Jimmy Ward came back from a concussion and played. George Kittle came back from a broken foot and played. There were clips and videos of Jimmy Garoppolo practicing and looking good and letting the ball rip, but he didn't come back and play. If I were in the dark and I were Jaquaski Tart or Jimmy Ward, I would just be like, yo, what? Jimmy, maybe I'd text Jimmy Garoppolo and be like, what was that about? Although I don't know if they have his number.
Oh,
I don't know. Apparently, all the questions people have about Rosen, I have about Jimmy. Maybe he's not late, but how much do you love football, man? How much does it mean to you to be on the field? Are you content to cash checks and sit on the bench?
Well, look at Jared Goff. I mean, we just saw that Sean McVay said and they did, or was it the GM? Was it Les Snead that basically said yeah, I mean, he wasn't the hardest worker. He wasn't the first guy in.
I don't think anyone put their name behind it, but the report that came out was that he wasn't the hardest worker. Yep. They basically called him Josh Rosen. It was very disrespectful.
Yeah. So, I think that's probably about it. I like the Rosen take. I think it's
I had to swing for the fences. I mean, I put both cheeks into the swing and tried to put it out to the upper deck. We'll see what happens.
And of course, there's going to be some people that hate that idea. What are you doing, Josh Rosen? But also look at this. Rosen went 10th. What did Jimmy go? 40-something? 50-something?
60-something, I
think.
Was it
60-something? Oh, yeah, because they were coming off a Super Bowl win, I think.
That's right. Yeah, late too, and that's for a reason. I mean, the guy he was playing at Eastern Illinois, and when you see him now, there's nothing physically that really stands out with Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not big. He doesn't have a super strong arm. He's not mobile. He's just got this it factor that is wearing off. It's like he's Cinderella, and it's 12:07, and it's just the chariot's a pumpkin now, baby. I don't know what to tell you. It's just not. It ain't what it used to be.
I like it. I told you. I mean, I do think that Jimmy is still. I'd rather have him as my starter, but it's incredibly interesting to see how that's going to all play out. Hopefully, that Rosen stuff I brought up about the character questions. Hopefully, that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, I told you I like the guy.
Most interesting thing. I've been bringing people on my channel for weeks, being like, do you know why the NFL gave up on Josh Rosen? What is it about him? And everyone's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've talked to coaches. It's like, okay, I get it. I get it. That attitude isn't going to fly. It's not that he's Jewish. It's not that he's Jewish. It's that he's a freaking diva, or he was, and needs to show that he's not. He's created a reputation for himself, and now he's got to shed that reputation. He's young enough, but it's now. You're running out of time, Josh. The time is now.